Thank you, everyone, for joining today's Words of Wisdom. Today's was sent out on April 29th, and I quote, "To overcome this limit, the support of people with the abilities you don't have is crucial. You'll need their advice, and you'll need to judge whether you should follow them. From the Laws of Hope, written by Master Ryuho Okawa." Thank you, Lord. All right, so what is he talking about in this limit? To give you a background from where this sentence is pulled out from, it was a chapter about leadership. And Master Okawa has taught us numerous times that human beings have limits. And you have to understand your own limitations. And by understanding your own limitations, you can break through the barrier or what's blocking you from achieving success and go on to the next stage. It's actually by admitting your limits, admitting your weaknesses, admitting your shortcomings. By doing so, by having that objective view, you can actually overcome it. So it's a little different from like a shallow, very light kind of optimism or the teachings of positivity. One good example that he gives for leaders is the theory of whether the glass of water is half full or half full or half God. Optimists will say, oh, it's still half full. Realists will say it's half God. So which is better? Personally, if you want to encourage yourself, half full is good emotionally. But if you are a leader with the role of responsibility, and you have to think about reality, you have to think about the limited resources you have, how to use that limited resources, and guide your team to achieve victory. There are enemies out there in the real world, and you have to think of how to win this battle. So for our leaders, it's actually very important to understand your own personal limits. And this sentence is coming from kind of like the flow where Master is saying that each individual has limits. There is no Superman. There is no Superwoman. No human being is omniscient or omnipotent. Only God is. We all only have a certain field of strengths. And however, in order to run an organization or to do work, to cooperate with a team, to achieve something big in your life, you have to cooperate with people who has higher abilities than you do. And that is when you will need to listen to people's advice. Even though you're the top leader, you will be the ultimate decision maker. You will be the one who will take the final responsibility. So you are the one who makes the decision. But it's important to listen to people's advice because they have different strengths compared to you, different insights compared to you. And then ultimately you have to judge what's right from the grand perspective. Maybe each of your subordinates has an expertise in a specific field, but as the general manager, as the executive, chief executive officer, as the number one top, you're the one who sees the whole grand picture within your company and what's going out in the world. And from within that knowledge of all of that, you have to choose whether to listen to that advice or not. So, Master's teachings on life is very deep. It's not like a simple think positive and you'll get through in life. That's true. That is absolutely true. However, if you feel that you've come to a roadblock with that philosophy, that is when you tap into the teachings of wisdom rather than be positive. And I promise you, like we call ourselves happy science, right? This is a science of happiness. By doing so, you move on to the next stage in life. You break through your limits by knowing your limits. That will be the end for today's Words of Wisdom. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me read it again. To overcome this limit, the support of people with the abilities you don't have is crucial. You will need their advice, and you'll need to judge whether you should follow them. From the Laws of Hope, written by Master Ryuho Okawa. Thank you very much. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.